You've been living too long in a concrete world. Well, I tell you right now, I got plans for you, city girl. We'll take the battle out in the middle of the night. Do a little frog until we see sunrise. I'll be your crawdaddy crawling just to kiss your feet. You'll be my sugar mama, honey, down in New Orleans. 'Cause I got the rhythm when you get the blues. I sweep you right off of them high heel shoes. You live on the north side, but I'm from the south. I'm gonna show you what the bayou's about. Singing, come on, let your hair fall down. Blue-eyed baby, come and dance with me now. You know that you need it too. 'Cause there ain't no living soul who don't like what we do in the bayou. Muddy water loving people who don't mind the heat. I'll take you walking through the woods, no shoes on your feet. You'll be singing Chabebe with some Creole soul. And we'll be rocking on the river, 'cause that's how we roll. And I got the rhythm, you won't get the blues. It's always a party in the bayou. Darling, come on, let your hair fall down. Blue-eyed baby, come and dance with me now. You know that you need it too. 'Cause there ain't no living soul who don't like what we do in the bayou. Fall down, blue-eyed baby, come and dance with me now. You know that you need it too. 'Cause there ain't no living soul who don't like what we do in the bayou. In the bayou,
Oh, the camera just moved. What's good, everybody? Week 6 of the End Zone Eats podcast. Last week, it was a packed house. We had 5 people in here. Every chair plus one was taken. But today, it's just me. And we may have a special guest later. There's an important fundraiser going on this weekend that hoping to get somebody in to talk about. But here we are, End Zone Eats, week 6. I think I got the webcam set up perfectly to where it's a lot better than it was last time. We are live on TikTok as well. I can't see your TikTok comments because I got the live facing the screen. so that way anything I put on the screen, you will be able to see instead of just looking at me the whole time. And you can look at me there. But if you want to comment, go to Facebook, Bayou Brothers Facebook page, or End Zone Eats YouTube channel. It's an interesting week of college football this week. LSU is off, Tulane's off. A lot of SEC teams are playing off teams, but there is quite a few matchups that we're going to look at. We have 11 games we're going to look at today, and we're going to go through them really quickly because we have a special guest that I interviewed earlier today named Ben Chase. Ben Chase is the director of NIL strategies at the University of Florida. He also went on a little road trip. He went to 77 cities, or 77 games and 75 stadiums, and drove over 60,000 miles one year to see a bunch of different games, a bunch of different teams all over the country. So if this is a show about tailgating and food and college football, why not talk to the guy that went to as many games as he did? So we're going to watch a 30-minute video with him, the conversation we had earlier today. We're going to go through some games real quick and then hit that video. And then at the end, we may have somebody come in and talk about a fundraiser going on in Denham Springs this weekend. But we are live. End Zone Eats. First, let's go to a quick commercial and check out our sponsor, Bayou Brothers.
The same old bland barbecue sauce? Wake up your grill with Bayou Brothers Cajun barbecue sauce. It's bold, it's zesty. It's that Louisiana heat and flavor in every drop. Straight from the bayou to your plate. Ribs, wings, burgers, even breakfast eggs. If it needs flavor, it needs Bayou Brothers. Order yours today at BayouBrothers.org or call Adam at 225-975-1612. Bayou Brothers Cajun barbecue sauce. You need this in your life.
Yes, you do. You do need that in your life. There's several ways to get it. Get myself back on screen here. Move the camera again. There's several ways to get it. You can go to BayouBrothers.org, order it from there. You can go to the TikTok shop and order it from there. There's 43 stores you can go to. And Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Kentucky, got to add Kentucky. Kentucky's a new one, and Florida as well. We're looking at Ohio and some other states very shortly. And but yes, but you can also just recently, you can go to Amazon and look up Bayou Brothers barbecue sauce and catch the barbecue sauce on the Zon. And that is something I'm very proud of. The fact that we are now on Amazon. All right. After further ado, let's jump into the games this week. First, we got Air Force at Navy. Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, capacity 34,000. Air Force at Navy at 11 o'clock a.m. on CBS Paramount. I'm going to go with Navy, the midshipmen this week. I'm going to go with Navy. And Ben, our guest earlier this afternoon, that'll be on later, we'll see his picks as well. The military schools, the military academies, those are special atmospheres because, quite frankly, it means so much more than football to go to these two universities, Air Force and Navy. I'm going to go with Navy. Oh, I started in the middle. That ain't no good. All right. Aggie Memorial Stadium, capacity 28,853. Sam Houston State is playing at New Mexico State at 8 o'clock Central on CBS Sports Network. Sam Houston against New Mexico State. I'm gonna go with New Mexico State at home. I'm gonna pick New Mexico State at home. And New Mexico, that's an interesting place. It only holds 28,000 people, but it's a lot different than places in the South where football is life in a lot of places. I see you, Joe. Joe with our sponsor, LP Hat Company, is in the house. Joe's going to go Sam Houston. Let me write that as well. Joe, Sam Houston. Next up, we got at Northwestern Medicine Field at Martin Stadium, capacity 12,023. That's interesting because this is a temporary field that they put together because Northwestern Stadium is being built. Northwestern Stadium is going to be 35,000 strong, and it's going to be a nice little stadium. But check this stadium out. It is surrounded by water. Surrounded by water. And that's an interesting stadium, only 12,000 going there this season while their other stadium is being built. UL Monroe versus Northwestern. Joe's going to go with Northwestern. And I'm going to go with Northwestern as well. That is 2:30 on the Big Ten Network. UL Monroe at Northwestern. Here's a local one. Because there weren't as many big games as possible, I went ahead and picked a couple in-state schools as well because they deserve the love too. This is an in-state school, Southeastern at McNeese. That's going to be at 6 o'clock p.m. on ESPN Plus. Cowboy Stadium, 17,610 down in Lake Charles. Lake Charles, you know what they're cooking down there. They're cooking the gumbo. They're cooking it's cooling off a little bit. Almost gumbo weather, chilly. Joe's got the Lions. Joe's got the Lions of Southeastern. And I'm going to go with the home squad, the McNeese State Cowboys. Always got to pull for the Louisiana boys and hope they do well on both sides. Next is Acrisure Stadium, capacity 68,400. Boston College at Pittsburgh, 11 a.m. on the ACC network. 11 a.m. on the ACC network. Let's see if we can do it this way. Oh, yeah, there we go. 11 a.m. on the ACC network. Boston College at Pitt. The thing about Pitt, I just took the comments away. Oh, look what I just did. Oh, I just went big. I'm just pressing buttons, yo. There we go. Boston College at Pitt. Pitt plays in the same place as the Pittsburgh Steelers. They share the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Pitt Panthers share a stadium. That's pretty interesting when an NFL team shares a stadium with the college team. Boston College at Pitt at 11 a.m. Man, them starts are early. Joe's going to go with Pittsburgh. And I am going to go with Boston College. I'm going to go with Boston College, the road team, on this one. You got McLean Stadium, capacity 76,212. Kansas State at Baylor. That's another 11 a.m. game. Baylor's stadium, Ben will talk about it later today, but Baylor has a thing where their freshmen get to run on the field and form a line before the game and form the tunnel for Baylor to run out. So that's a unique environment over in Texas at Baylor. But Kansas State at Baylor, 11 a.m. I'm going to go Baylor. Let's wait and see what Joe got. I keep checking to see if our guest is coming in tonight. I got somebody maybe coming in to surprise us a little bit. We're moving on, and I'll catch back up to Joe in a minute. Oh, K-State, here we go. Joe had to check his bookie first to see what they wanted. TDECU Stadium, capacity 40,000. Texas Tech at Houston. Texas Tech at Houston, Cougar Stadium. 6 o'clock on ESPN. Both these teams are undefeated. Texas Tech against Houston. I'm going to go with H-Town. To get that big win over Texas Tech. And Joe's going to go Texas Tech. This one, Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, capacity 34,000. Air Force at Navy, 11 a.m. on CBS Paramount. It's the Air Force Falcons and the Navy midshipmen. Like I was saying earlier, this game is when servicemen play each other, it's just on another level because it means a lot more than it does in the South because they're fighting for real. And we just take our hat off to them and thank them every day for the effort and the work that they put in for us and our country. Air Force Falcons at Navy. I'm going with Navy. Joe's going to go with Navy as well. Our guest, Ben Chase, will pick the games on the video. It's about a 30-minute video that I had a nice conversation with him earlier today. While the video is going on, I'll be in the comments and we can talk about it. He has some very interesting things to say about his job. He is the director of NIL strategy at the University of Florida. And that's an interesting job that he has over there. Kyle Field, 102,733. Mississippi State at Texas A&M, 6:30 on the SEC network. Mississippi State was undefeated until last week, and Tennessee took care of them. But they go into Kyle Field, Mississippi State at Texas A&M. I'm going to go with Mississippi State to pull Jeff Lebby and the boys to pull the upset. That's what I'm going to do. Mississippi State. Joe's going to go with the Aggies of Texas, $M. But that's an interesting environment as well. That Texas A&M is in the top 5 of environments in the country. It's on another level, but it's another weird level. But such is life. This one is an interesting one. Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium, capacity 100,077. Vanderbilt at Alabama. Diego Pavia is talking that mess. Theo Vaughn, the Louisiana guy, but Vanderbilt fan, is the guest picker Saturday morning on ESPN's College Game Day. And he got a little thing for Diego Pavia's mama, and that should be an interesting little plug. But Vanderbilt going into Bryant-Denny Stadium, 2:30 on ABC. I'm going Vandy because I don't pick that red team. Straight up, I don't pick that red team. So let's go Vandy. Commodores gonna take it. Going into Kyle Field, and Diego Pavia is gonna say, "Sit down, boys." This one right here. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, capacity 88,585. Texas at Florida at 2:30 on ESPN. This is an interesting one. Texas is sneaky good right now. Arch is not looking very good, but they're still finding ways to win games. You got Florida, who Billy the Kid may last a couple more games and may not. He was on warm ice last year, and now he's on hot ice. I can't imagine if they lose a couple more games that he stays another year. But here we go. DJ Lagway, if he takes over, DJ Lagway is capable of taking over games. He is absolutely capable of taking over games. So if he does that, and Arch has another down game, then I think the Gators can do it. But am I picking them? Yeah, I'm going to. Florida. Billy the Kid's going to do enough to save his job. I guess that looks like a cow. So you're going Texas. This is the game of the week this year, or this week. Doak Campbell Stadium, capacity 79,960. Miami at Florida State. Miami travels to Tuscaloosa. Miami travels to Tallahassee, right up the road. And right up the road to play Florida State, 6:30 on ABC. Miami is looking really good right now. Florida State is looking a lot better. They destroyed Alabama in the opener, and then they're up there in the top 15 right now as well. Game day snubbed going to Tallahassee to go to Vandy at Alabama. Joe's got the Canes. And I got the Canes too. I don't think Florida State is good enough for it, but that is our games of the week. We'll go back to that. We're going to hit a quick commercial, and then we will head on over to our conversation with Ben Chase, and we can talk in the comments. I'll be around while this 30-minute conversation is going on. I had a really interesting conversation with Ben Chase this afternoon. Late night was too late for him, but I got to speak to him this afternoon. He's a really cool dude, and I enjoyed spending time with him this afternoon. But we're gonna hit this commercial real quick.
Same old bland barbecue sauce? Wake up your grill with Bayou Brothers Cajun barbecue sauce. It's bold, it's zesty. It's that Louisiana heat and flavor in every drop. Straight from the bayou to your plate. Ribs, wings, burgers, even breakfast eggs. If it needs flavor, it needs Bayou Brothers. Order yours today at BayouBrothers.org or call Adam at 225-975-1612. Bayou Brothers Cajun barbecue sauce. You need this in your life.
All right, we are going to our interview with our other sponsors, LP Hat Company, who did our podcast hat. He did my Bayou Brothers hat I got on right now. OnlyPants. What's up, Frank Williams? Frank Williams in the house. OnlyPants. Brandy couldn't make it tonight. She tried, but she couldn't make it. Put some South in your mouth with OnlyPants. She's got 3 different kinds of seasoning, a couple different sauces. She caters. She does a lot. She's all over the place, and her food was amazing last week. And next week, I'm sure she'll be back, and we'll have a full crew next week. Next week, I believe Thomas Kane is coming in studio next week. Thomas Kane coming in studio next week. But we're sitting down with Ben Chase. We're sitting down with Ben Chase. He is the director of NIL strategy at Florida, University of Florida. But he also went on a 177-day, went to 77 games in 75 stadiums to catch all the tailgate. And let's see what he has to say. It's going to be a 30-minute video. We can talk in the comments. I will be there. And here we go. Shout out Thomas Kane. Yes, Thomas will be need to do 1 on calls. I'm going to work on that. 30-minute conversation with Ben Chase. When I found him on a YouTube. I was actually trying to cut to make a tailgate video, and I came across a Ben Chase video when he is traveling the country and seeing every tailgate possible. And I'm thinking, how can I have a podcast talking about tailgating without bringing Ben Chase on?
Well, hopefully it was, obviously, 1, thanks for having me. And 2, you stumbled on a video that was a few years old at this point. So I guess the algorithm's still helping me out.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I was Googling tailgating, trying to piece by piece some videos. And I'm like, this dude, let me see if he'll answer an email. And he did.
Yeah. I mean, you caught me at the right time. I was probably purging some emails and but happy to be here talking tailgating, talking college sports, 2 things that I love. And, obviously I'm in my office right now, so I don't have a beverage, but it's almost game day every day. And I'm excited to be on here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we actually record our podcast in the Walk-Ons parking lot. It's in Pro Dreams, which is a sports memorabilia place that is in the parking lot of Walk-Ons right on campus. And I can look out the window and see Tiger Stadium's lights right there.
That's wild. I don't know. We actually had a basketball player on our last team that just won the national championship, Bennett Anderson. He went viral during the Sweet 16 because he got an offensive rebound and scored. He was a walk-on, and walk-ons came and gave him a $10,000 NIL deal before the Final Four. So super cool. Your team is great to work with, and
Brandon Landry and the boys over there are outstanding people.
Yeah, I mean, they're crushing it, and obviously I think Drew Brees is an investor. My friend, she used to work in marketing for Walk-On, someone I worked with at Disney, so I'm definitely familiar with the brand.
Yeah, and it's cool. Trey at Pro Dreams called me one day and said, "Where are you doing your podcast?" I said, "At my house."
Mm-mm-mm.
He said, "What kind of equipment did you get?" Amazon, $40. Because I'm not going to make a big on something that I've never done before. And
I tell that to my athletes here. I'm like, some of them are like, "Oh, I want to be a vlogger." I'm like, "All right, well, like start with your phone. Don't got to buy a $700 camera, and then go from there."
He said, "Send that stuff back. Come do your podcast here." I'm like,
"Okay." There you go. Is that where you're at right now?
No, I'm at my house, but
I was about to say the backdrop. If you're going to be in a card shop or something, you got to.
I'll be there tonight.
That makes sense. Yeah, I threw off the timing with a day interview, but that's on me.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'll take it any way I can get it. And Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn actually have a show in the podcast studio every Thursday morning.
That's
So
cool.
it's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I think I've seen, what's theirs called?
Off the bench.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. I mean, obviously,
It's like
Hester and
7
Flynn.
to 10. It's like 7 to 10 every morning.
They were both on that championship team, right?
They were.
Yeah. Now Flynn got paid, man. He got that crazy deal from the Seahawks, and then Russell Wilson came in and took his lunch money. But he took the starting spot, but he got the money. That's all that matters.
All right, let's get started. Tailgate road trip went over 60,000 miles, 77 games in 75 different stadiums involving 115 teams. First off, where'd that idea come from?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those funny things in law school. I would go and drive overnight from like DC to Gainesville for games. And so like that was kind of the origin of these kind of road trip stories. And then even in college at UF, I went to Florida. We would drive overnight to Baton Rouge for games. We stop in New Orleans and go to Baton Rouge. So I was always a road trip guy. Actually, I've never been, through college and law school, I never went on a trip with my mom on a plane. So we always drove everywhere. Mind you, we didn't drive very far.
Betty?
What do you say?
Betty?
Well, no, my mom's not named Betty. My mom's name is
The car.
My van's name is Betty. Yeah. But yeah, so I always had that, kind of spirit of the road kind of guy. And then I moved to Orlando and I went to some games. And then I remember in 2017, I went from a UCF night game on a Friday to the Iron Bowl on a Saturday overnight. And this was when UCF claimed their national title. And this is when Alabama lost Auburn in Auburn, and we stormed the field. And that was one of those the adrenaline rush of going overnight to back-to-back games was kind of there. And then in 2020, you said earlier you went to all the games for LSU in 2017.
I think
yeah. So in 2020, I went to like the first 6 or 7 games for the Gators during COVID. And on a Friday, I was in Orlando and we were playing Texas A&M the next day. And I just Googled how long it takes to drive. And I had about an hour and 20 minutes or so of window. So I said, if this tweet gets one like, I'll drive to Texas A&M. Little did I know at the time. And my friend from law school, his name's Alex. He's visiting me this weekend. He calls me and goes, Ben, you realize there's a hurricane going through Louisiana right now, right? And I did not know that. That was news to me. And so he was like my eye in the sky as I drove. And I live tweeted. And during that trip, Florida State fans started Venmoing me money for the trip, like out of nowhere. And that's when I was like, oh, this is different. And then people would be like, you got to do a road trip. You got to do a road trip. And then, just timing and luck and a little bit of everything lined up in 2022, which is crazy to say that was 3 years ago. But yeah, I made a little outline of 62 games and closed my eyes and turned the car on, Betty White, and ended up at 77. 77 games all on the road. Drove to all of them. Like you said, I think 115 teams, 75 different stadiums. I went to all 48 continental U.S. states. I went to D.C. I didn't go to a game in all the states, but I made that part of the challenge at the end because every week or two, I kind of be like, all right, this is kind of getting easy, so let me just make it harder. So it was I would say a once in a lifetime opportunity to go for it. And, I racked up crazy credit card debt that I paid off, luckily, thanks for the job. But no, it was incredible.
Your favorite, most individual memory on the road?
I mean, it's so hard to pick one. But I mean, when I was at the national championship game, and I drove from the FCS championship the night before, in Texas overnight to the national championship game in LA. I think it was one of those times, it got to happen. I mean, it was a blowout. It was Georgia against TCU, but I cried because I was like, I can't believe I just did this. And I think that moment and that feeling of also I was crying because Georgia was winning the game, but it was probably a little bit of both and some beverages. But I would say that was probably, and I also announced I was coming to this job. So I posted this picture. Someone made me a graphic. And that was just, but I would say outside of that, taking 70 kids to a game at USF is probably right there with it. That was a really cool moment. And that came out of someone putting a hate comment on a YouTube interview I did. And they said, like, imagine being the guy that just went to a bunch of road games or football games. Imagine being known for that. And it said bread and circuses, which I guess is some like, thing that from the Greeks or the Romans, where like all you have to do is distract people with bread and circuses, and they won't realize the problems in their lives. And I took that personal, and I made a video and said, hey, like, there's 2 games on my road trip that I can make this work. One was in Tampa, one was in Orlando. And within 24 hours, the AD at the time at USF, I think he's now at the Navy, said email. He like replied to me on Twitter, said email me, sent me like 200 tickets to this game. So we took 70 kids to the game. We got a bus to bus them in. We had it catered. We got them all free USF gear. That's probably the true highlight for sure.
Army Navy.
Army Navy was awesome too. I went to that game. Everyone talks about rivalries, but the troops is an underrated rivalry. And the flyover, the presentation, you got the Army flyover, the Navy flyover. You have the bands that I walked into the stadium as the bands from both schools or both military academies were having like their march, like kind of like band off and vibe in, and they're all suited and booted, and then they do it used to be called the prisoner exchange before the game, and now I don't know what it's called because you got to be politically correct, but maybe they'll bring that back. I mean, they're changing a lot of things in the military right now, so who knows? But just all those traditions in one spot. It was cold. It was in Philly, and tickets are crazy. I was blessed that a former Army veteran, I guess is the word, was able to get me in and get me a ticket. And I think I spent $120 on a Army Navy hoodie, which was way overpriced, but somewhere in my house. But that's one of the ones that's up there too. But there's so many little micro moments that like I just remember like randomly, and those kind of it set me back financially, but like being on, I wouldn't be on this interview if it wasn't for that, for sure.
That part. Most unique
BYU, I would say. Everyone kind of craps on them because they don't drink. But what'd you say?
Can't play on Sundays.
Yeah. But I will say, like, you go in there and all they do is show you love. I got to go on the field, hype up the student section. They have they have these donuts called Cougar Tails, and they're these maple donuts that are this big, and you get that with a chocolate milk, and you're a party. It's just a different vibe, and everyone there's having a good time. I just lost on a last-second field goal to ECU, but after the game, the person that was kind of hosting me was like, "Hey, you want to come over and just hang out and have a caffeine-free Diet Mountain Dew?" I said, "Sure." So I mean, I was gassed. I drove overnight from Pullman, Washington, from one Cougs to another to see that game. And then I had a game the next day in Tucson, but I would say that's definitely the most unique.
All right. You've been to Baton Rouge a few times because clearly we're not that far away.
Yeah.
And you're at Florida, so that would make sense. What'd you think about your time in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, I've been to 2 games at LSU, both like on the last row, basically 50-yard line. My last time I got right before kick, I got a $55 ticket on the 50-yard line in the second to last row. I just stood at the top. I mean, I love Baton Rouge. I love Tiger Stadium. It's definitely a top 3 environment for me in the country. It gets louder, faster than anywhere in the country when they score and they spell out Tigers and they're bowing on third down. Like there's not a lot of traditions like that I've seen. And now you guys have that. Like, how old is that member of the band right now at LSU?
66.
Yeah, what a cool story. I mean, I don't know all the details, but and I wasn't allowed to be excited about it because all of the news and media came out before we played them. Like literally that week is when they had all the interviews with them, and I'm like, dang, I want to like support this guy, but I'm I'd look like a turncoat if I did. But I do definitely think that. I mean, the colors, you got Mike the Tiger. I got to go up to actually for my birthday. I went up there for a baseball game in this last not this spring, but the spring before. And I think we hit 5 home runs, and it was like the most. Yeah, we won. I got out of there alive, but and everyone says LSU fans are pretty mean, but I would say, I mean, most of them just want to have a good time, just like everybody else. I'd say like the T-shirt fans sometimes can be a little toxic, but I mean, everyone has t-shirt fans, and that's part of the game too. And like for me, it's like, you know, I was a t-shirt fan for 70 different schools over my road trip. So you can't, and you know, people that live and die and love these colors, your colors, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a big baseball guy myself, and like I said, I've been to quite a few baseball games. So I mean, it's a whole different vibe from baseball to football, but it's all positive most of the time. I mean, anybody get a bunch of beverages in them, anything can happen, but it's the same way in every single university in the country.
Yeah, exactly.
Always
Yeah, and I think it's cool. I mean, you guys are one of the leaders. And
when I went to the Swamp a few years ago, that was not one of the best experiences of my life, just because it rained the whole time, and we got beat down like 53-3 or some crazy number. Ooh. And walking back to your car when you're in purple and gold after getting beat 53-3 or something like that, it wasn't one of my best moments. Let's just say.
No, I mean, I'm 0-2 in Tiger Stadium, including the year you guys, won the championship with Joe Burrow. And the thing I remember by that game is it was about 8 minutes left in the third quarter. We went up 28 to 24 or 28 to 21, and our fans started chanting, "It's great to be a Florida Gator," with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Or no, 8 minutes left in the third quarter. And I legitimately started.
Don't do that to Joe.
I legitimately lost my mind. I was like, "What are we doing?" And then next thing you know, we lost like 42-28. We didn't score the rest of the game. And that game, I also remember we were right down 2 defensive ends, and he just converted like a 3rd and 17 with his legs. And then that game was just it's etched into my memory because I think we were the only team to lead on you guys in the second half. That season until maybe the championship or something. I don't remember. There was one game in the playoffs, I think. But yeah. Oh,
Clemson in the finals, they went down early.
Yeah, exactly. I think that. Yeah, I think we were the only team to lead in the second half, and then you guys were down
17-7 or something like that in the championship.
Yeah.
And then they took off from there. But
Yeah.
you are now the director, the NIL director of strategy. Is that how that works?
Yeah. So the director of strategy, NIL strategy for the Florida Gators, fancy title for what I do a lot of things. I wear a lot of hats. I help our teams. I had a volleyball rev share meeting today. We had a softball rev share meeting 2 days ago. We have a new chief commercial officer starting on Monday. We're in the process of hiring a new CFO. So a lot of changes just across the board, not just at Florida, but in this college football era, focusing on professionalizing, revenue generation, and finding ways to, one, keep all of our sports, and two, fully fund them to the best ability to stay as competitive as possible.
So what is something the average fan not really know about NIL and how it works?
Yeah, I would say that NIL, name, image, likeness. The goal originally was, to the athletes to make money off of a jersey sale or being in a video game. I mean, if the NCAA if the NCAA just let football players have their name in the video game, we may be in a better spot than we are now. There's these collectives, which are donor-led funds. The first collective was actually founded at Florida, the Gator Collective. The name Collective is because ours was called the Gator Collective. And from there, I worked, my previous job was for a company that's helps run collectives all over the country and help fundraise, distribute funds, activate athletes. Right now, as we're talking, 2 of our football players are doing EA Sports meet and greets on campus ahead of the game this weekend against Texas. And another football player is shooting a commercial right under me in our locker room. So it's a whole new era. But it's really fun, and there's a lot of opportunities. It's the player empowerment era. I do think there's a lot of stigmas out there and things that need to be tightened up. It could start and end with collective bargaining. But I would say that at Florida and at some schools like LSU, bigger schools, we care about all of our sports. So we're trying the best we can to keep them all. There's over 70 programs at the D1 level that have been cut across the country. So that's something to know. And, I would say that the people that are freaking out about paying players, 90,000, 90 however many thousand go to LSU games, 100,000. Like they're not going there to see, respectfully, like Coach Kelly coach. They're going to see the players, right? And like that stadium, that cathedral is generating crazy revenue, way more than the cost of a scholarship. And these athletes don't have insurance, and just, I mean, they're getting their due. And obviously there will be less facility upgrades and more competitive balance, because there's probably people that say, well, SEC schools have been paying players forever. But I think it's in the long run. I'm an optimist, glass half full kind of guy. It'll be good for the well-being of the athletes, and there may be some changes, and you'll see logos on the jerseys and all that, which LSU's leading the charge on that.
LSU started with a logo on the field.
Yeah, exactly. Logos on the field, on the courts, but that's really just to help keep status quo. These schools have a new, at most, $20 million line item out of nowhere. It's like saying, hey, you say you're running a business, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, you have to spend 23% of your annual revenue on car washes. And you're like, well, we don't even have a car wash. Well, too late. You got to figure it out, right? New line item is car washes. And that's kind of, or like you have to pay your AI bots. Not that our athletes are AI bots, but like all of a sudden it's like you have to pay for this thing that you've been taking advantage of for a very long time.
And then what kind of things go into an NIL package?
I would say, I mean, on the rev share side, like there's deliverables that have to be done to justify the deal, quid pro quo. I mean, it's just like, NIL is just social media and partnership marketing for athletes. Like your favorite influencer, your favorite podcaster has sponsorship deals, right? That's what it is. That everyone likes to use NIL deal, but it's really just a marketing deal. Right. End Zone Eats, sponsored by Walk-On's Restaurant, right? Like that's the NIL deal for you, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the basics of it. Some of them will have signing autographs, right? Or your name on a can of soda, right? Leanne Wong, she's a gymnast. None of our football players have their image on a can of soda. So that's the other part. Everyone thinks it's about football and basketball, but we have athletes from all kinds of sports that are crushing it in the NIL space. Leanne Wong sold over 10,000 hair bows, 1,000 leotards. She's a landlord. She's bought 2 houses in Gainesville with her NIL money, and
we got one of those. Her name's Livy Dunn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like Livy Dunn is she's a supernova as well, right? But like that's just
with Paul Skeens, who is one.
Yeah. Not a big fan of him because we lost to them in baseball championship, but I respect him. So that's what this is all about. Like giving these athletes the opportunity to leverage their name and build a brand, just like everyone else on campus. We have 60,000 students at UF. Only less than 1% of them are athletes. All the other ones can build a brand and have NIL deals. Why can't the athletes?
That part. All right, now we'll get into some football. Florida, Texas. Florida's been up and down this year. And there's a lot going on over there with just the nature of college football. When you don't play well, things happen.
Yeah.
I've met Billy. He was at ULL, right down the street here. But this would be a big one for him if he can get this one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Lagway he didn't really get the practice all summer because he was hurt. So he's finally getting full reps, and I do believe he's one of the most genuine people I've ever met in my life, DJ, and I do think that he's a physical specimen who can throw the ball. So who knows what this weekend's going to hold? I know that our fans are going to show up very loud. It's a sellout. Our defense has been fighting and holding that rope. We have a few injuries, but everyone that matters will be on the field, and it's a next man up mentality. But obviously Texas is, they were a 1 or 2 plays away from being in the championship last year with Quinn, and they're right back. I mean, they have a 7-point touchdown, a 7-point loss to Ohio State in the shoe, right? That's their one loss. Mind you, their offense hasn't been very, where their expectations for their offense are, but they're coming off a bye week. We're coming off a bye week.
I know all about our offense with not performing right now.
Yeah. I mean, don't ask that question to coach.
So let's go with some picks real quick while we get out of
Sure.
here. First off, Houston and Texas Tech.
So I Houston got out of the Pacific Northwest, luckily to be alive against probably the worst program in the country, respectfully, last week. So I would say I think that, and I don't know if I'm allowed to make picks, but I don't really care, so I'm going to. I'm going to just ride with the Raiders. They have a receiver there that transferred from Florida that I think is a guy who will play on Sundays, and Caleb Douglas. Great talent, and I think that the Texas Tech is probably the class of the Big 12 right now.
All right, we're going to stay out west a little bit. Sam Houston at New Mexico State.
So New Mexico State's first place I ever won on my road trip in Las Cruces, New Mexico. They played Nevada, and it was a lightning delay, and I was like, I can't believe my first game of my road trip's gonna have a lightning delay. I had some true Mexican tequila and some random food there. Beautiful, underrated venue. I will ride with the Aggies of Las Cruces.
Boston College and at Pitt.
Boston College at Pitt. Pitt is low key having a good year. Boston College, obviously their quarterback, their former quarterback is now at Florida State, and I learned this yesterday. Their swim and dive coach is Dara Torres, who was a Gator. So shout out to her. But I will be rolling with the Panthers, which was the second game of my road trip. There's a theme here. I don't know if you're doing this on purpose, but I went from Las Cruces to Pittsburgh. So if this next game somehow has Charlotte in it, I'm going to be in trouble.
It doesn't. Pittsburgh shares a stadium with the Steelers, and I think that's pretty cool in pro stadiums in college. It's a different tailgate vibe because it's a concrete tailgate. Yeah, it's not your college town type thing.
Yeah.
K-State and Baylor.
All right. I'm going to – K-State's been having a tough year, and Baylor, one of the most underrated traditions in all of college sport, they do this thing called the Baylor line, and they have their freshmen get to run the field before every game and surround the tunnel of the team as they come out the other side. And they also, on every play on defense, they go, oh, and they right when the ball snapped, they go, sick 'em Bears. So I'm going to stick with the Bears, and you can get your pardon my cheesesteak in their venue as well. So and they call it the toilet bowl, but I think it's a really cool spot. I'll go with the Bears.
UL Monroe at Northwestern.
Man, talk about teams that are not good. It's just one of those ones where, like, I want to pick UNL Monroe, and I think it's just because Northwestern had a crazy big win against UCLA, I think 2 weeks ago. But that team is really down bad, and I think I'll roll with the locals for you guys.
This is another local one. Southeastern Louisiana at McNeese.
I guess I'll go with the D1 program, Southeastern Louisiana.
All right, here we go. You know a little more about Air Force at Navy.
Air Force at Navy. I honestly couldn't tell you who has a better record, but I will say I will ride with Navy. They have a new AD from USF, and that's my affiliation there.
All right, now we'll get into some SEC stuff. Mississippi State travels to College Station.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Aggies again here. Texas A&M, we play them next week, and I don't think they're looking ahead to us. I do think Mississippi State's tough. Shout out to Brandon Walker and the Bulldogs. But I think Jeff Libby, is that how you say his name? Lebby or Libby? Jeff Libby. Lebby is doing a great job at Mississippi State. We'll see them here shortly. I think those are our next two games at Texas A&M and then hosted Mississippi State. So it'll be fun to see. I'm going to go with the Aggies. I think they bounce back and have a big offensive week.
I mean, you work for these people, so I'd assume you're picking Florida, but Texas, Florida.
I'm not allowed to bet, first of all, and I'm never going to pick against my team. So I'm going to roll with the Gators. I think DJ is going to come out and have a great day. I think, honestly, like between Jada Ball and DJ, they'll probably combine for 4 touchdowns.
I'd like to see that too. Arch isn't having the best year, but I think it's mainly because the expectations are through the roof.
Yeah.
It's
surprising a Louisiana guy's going against the Patriot Arch. That is the Mannings.
and none of them went to LSU. So
That's fair. That's fair.
Miami heads to Tallahassee.
Yeah, I think it's a bounce back spot for Florida State. I don't think I'm as high on Miami as a lot of national people, but I also if Florida State won last week, I would pick Miami, which is weird to say. I think Mike Norvell's having one of those seasons. It's kind of a prove it deal. So I will go with the Seminoles.
All right, and the last one, Vandy heads to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, this could be a letdown game for Alabama after. What'd you say?
Diego Pavia running his mouth again.
Oh yeah, I mean you got to respect it, and I know his mentor is actually going to be there too. Johnny Manziel is going to be on the sidelines for Vanderbilt. You know what? Let's ride with the. I think they're 6.5 point dogs. Let's go, and I think they're a live dog. So I'll ride with Vandy.
LSU has Vandy in Nashville in a few weeks.
Don't sleep on the doors.
According to the ESPN FPI or whatever, it has Vandy a 60-40 favorite.
Oh wow, well, there you go. See, don't sleep on the doors.
But I actually personally just started a company a year ago making my own barbecue sauce and hot sauce. And then we have these hats, these End Zone Eats hats that one of my sponsors, LP Hat Company, got for me.
Well, shout out to LP Hat Company.
So I will. I'll get you to send me an address. I can send some stuff to. We always like to give a package of stuff to each guest that comes on.
You said hot sauce and barbecue sauce?
Hot sauce, barbecue sauce, jambalaya mix.
Dang. Well, my girlfriend loves barbecue sauce and I love hot sauce, so we will be definitely using that. No, this has been awesome. What's your favorite spot that's not LSU or Louisiana school to tailgate?
The Washington thing was pretty cool because Tennessee does it too.
The tailgating
stuff, that was a pretty cool environment. It's just when you live in a place where you're known for one of the craziest and best environments, and then you go to a place that's
completely different.
It's different.
It's refreshing, I'm sure too. Yeah, I agree.
It really is. I've been to both national championships that LSU has played in, or 3 of them. I wasn't alive in '58, so I couldn't.
Were both of them in the Superdome?
All of them so far have been.
How convenient! How convenient!
And I just saw today that the 2028 national championship game will be in New Orleans.
Well, another home national championship game.
So yes, 03 against Oklahoma. 07 with Ohio State, and then
2020
with Clemson.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've not gone to a football national championship. I didn't go to college till I was 21. I would have been here for one of them, but I was at the national championship right here behind me. Basketball won, incredible run. I mean, honestly, I still can't get over how we won. Every game was a comeback. There's a really cool shirt that has I think our odds combined on all those games that we were down, it was 0.002% chance of winning all of them. So, but thanks for having me on. I got to hop off for another call here in a second, but I can't wait to see the episode. Feel free to send it to me. I'll share it.
Well, it's going to be on End Zone Eats YouTube channel. It's also going to be on Bayou Brothers is the barbecue sauce.
Bayou Bros. I love it.
Brothers. And we actually just got on Amazon last week with the barbecue sauce, so it's kind of crazy.
Next thing you got to do an NIL deal with one of the Bayou Bros, maybe the Weeks brothers.
They're actually coming to Pro Dreams next week or in a couple weeks for a signing.
Nice.
All three of them are coming.
You may have to see if you can get them and Landry in town.
So yeah, that'll be interesting as well. They've been advertising tickets for that thing, but yeah, I'll get with you. Give me an address I can send some stuff to, and we'll send you some stuff. It'll be on the Bayou Brothers Facebook page or the End Zone Eats YouTube channel.
Love it.
You can see this is week 6 coming up, and you can see the other 5 on the YouTube channel as well. But yeah, I'll send it to you, and it's great talking to you. I'm glad you came on. I appreciate it, and we'll catch up down the road.
All right, man. My pleasure. Can't wait to see this episode, and thanks for having me.
Hey, have a good one, man.
Thanks, man. Go Gators.
The same old bland barbecue sauce? Wake up your grill with Bayou Brothers Cajun barbecue sauce. It's bold, it's zesty. It's that Louisiana heat and flavor in every drop. Straight from the bayou to your plate. Ribs, wings, burgers, even breakfast eggs. If it needs flavor, it needs Bayou Brothers. Order yours today at BayouBrothers.org or call Adam at 225-975-1612. Bayou Brothers Cajun barbecue sauce. You need this in your life.
And we are back. So that was a good interview I did with Ben Chase this afternoon with the University of Florida. He's the NIL director of NIL strategy, and he did an incredible journey in 177 days, going to 77 games and 75 stadiums, driving over 60,000 miles. But that was a good talk with him. We now have a visitor to the studio. Jennifer and Kelly's in the house. I see your legs in there, so there you are. But they are here to talk about a fundraiser that is in Denham Springs this weekend. And we'll talk a little bit about it. And this picture you want first?
Yeah, that's fine. So this is Erin. She has a rare genetic disorder, kind of similar to Kelly, but different. Last week, her family ended up losing her, which is never easy, always hard when you lose someone who is so young. She's no longer fighting, but the mom has not been able to work and has been going to the hospital, staying with her the entire time, taking care of her. They flew them, so they even have to go back and get their car from out of state. So they are helping to raise money for her celebration of life, so we can give her a proper send-off and just be there for this family. She had the LQ4 deletion, chromosome disorder, and she also had epilepsy. So she would have seizures, end up in the hospital. It was just an ongoing treatment thing that she had to go through.
All right. So what? And they're from Denham Springs, is that right?
Yes.
All right. Here is a fundraiser that is going to happen. Here's a fundraiser that's going to happen this Saturday. Is it just Saturday or is it all weekend?
It is October 4th, so Saturday,
Saturday.
at 11159 Jubin Park in Denham from 9 till whenever. And it's going to help raise money to support Erin's mom, Cindy, for not just the cost for Celebration for Life, but also bills that have gotten backed up from her being at the hospital, things like that. I know it can be difficult as a mom with a daughter that's been hospitalized so many times. It's not easy having to go to the hospital, stay with our child, and not be able to work to pay our bills.
You
is one
know a
struggle.
lot about that.
Yeah, I do. Because of Kelly. And so this hits close to me, but it also hits close to me because I went to school with Erin's aunt. And so she has always been close to our family, so we've always followed this family. And so any amount helps, whatever you can do. I know we can also share, there's a GoFundMe that people have asked for, and so now that's up and running, and as well as this Cash App and Venmo. I don't know of any others that might be up or are legit, so I would stick with these two and then the GoFundMe that we can share.
So the fundraiser is for a barbecue pork sandwich for $5, dessert for $1, bottled water for $1, and soft drinks for $2. If you're looking for a place to get lunch, grab lunch, help a good cause, go out to Jubin Park and take part in this fundraiser. It's going to an amazing, incredible cause. Cash App is $Cindy Sand 79. CINDY SAND 79. The Venmo is at Cynthia Sandlin, SANDLIN. That's at Cynthia Sandlin, SANDLIN.
They're also doing, the whole neighborhood has come together to do an entire yard sale. And proceeds will go to help this family as well. So if y'all like shopping and you like yard sales, come out. You can come to the yard sales, purchase things. It goes to the family, and then the food, you'll get to purchase some food and drinks as well.
All right. Saturday, you said 9 until.
Yes. So they're doing it till I guess they run out.
So I will be back in town somewhere around 12:30, and I will stop by and see if they're still going. Southern Beauty Boutique is doing their fall fest this weekend, where Taylor Ray is playing at the boutique. That's from 12 to 2. So, and that's in Denham as well. So I'm gonna try to see if I can swing by both places before 2 o'clock. Friday and Sunday I'll be at Gretna Fest down in New Orleans, but on Saturday I'm not going to Gretna Fest. I'll be working in the morning and then heading to Denham for the Fall Fest at the Antique Village. But since that's both in Denham, I will run over to Jubin to try to see if they're still out there when I get out there around 12:30 or 1, probably closer to 1. Just depends on traffic coming from New Orleans. But yeah, this is a great cause. This will be on my Facebook page, both mine personal and the Bayou Brothers page. And then this whole podcast will be on YouTube, the End Zone Eats YouTube page, or the Bayou Brothers Facebook page. We're also live on TikTok, so we're live in all 3 places. But if you want to share it. Let's see how many people we can get it to, and really support this family as they're going through a hard time, because OnlyPans, Brandy with OnlyPans will post and share as well. And that's Brandy with OnlyPans. OnlyPans, put some South in your mouth with the OnlyPans. She was supposed to be here today, but had some car issues, so she's not here. But she will be here next week, along with Thomas Kane. Will be here next week as well. But yeah, if you have any, we'll put this picture back up again. If you have any, if you're in the Denham area, Brandy says, I have a pop-up Saturday from 11 to 1, but she'd love to help out if she can.
Awesome.
Yeah, Brandy, I haven't known Brandy all that long, but a few months, but she is absolutely incredible with 3 amazing seasonings and 2 different kinds of salsa. Her salsa, one of them is hotter than my ex. That's the flavor. She has 3 different seasonings. There's a bacon jalapeno one. There's a seasoning called WAP, and it's wild all-purpose.
Nice.
And I mean, this is her logo, so you just can imagine.
Fits my personality. Love it.
But yeah, she has a pop-up on Saturday. Brandy, where's your pop-up at? Maybe we'll pop up there too. Because the shish kebabs you cooked last week were absolutely
Man, I saw
incredible.
that food. I was like, oh, I need some of that.
I didn't even know she was coming. I knew she was coming, but I didn't know she was coming with food. And she popped up. I was like, dang.
Y'all making me hungry.
Rodney was next door eating pizza, And I said, Rodney, you need to get over here because they got food over here. But yeah, Brandy will be here next week. Thomas Kane will be here next week. But if you were in the Denham area on Saturday, Lemon Dolas, cowgirl beans, and sweet potato cornbread. So I need to know the difference between cowgirl beans and cowboy beans. Is that only Pan's seasoning makes the difference?
That's that flavor she has.
Oh, his flavor. His flavor. If you see any of Brandy's videos on Facebook, you'll know she got spice in your life. Lamandola's. If you're at Lamandola Saturday, you can also look on the shelf and get that Bayou Brothers barbecue sauce. It is at Lamandola's as well. I'll put a twist on my words. You should know that of course. If I had your seasoning, I would show them. It's pretty interesting. One of the sauces is get chip faced. And she definitely has sayings on every one of her seasonings.
Love
And Lamandolas. So that means I got to try to get to Lamandola's, which is in Gonzales. Lamandola's in Gonzales, get to Jubin, and get to Southern Beauty all on Saturday. And then I think I'm going to end up at Courts of Table. Lava Lips. Yes, the other salsa is called Lava Lips. But Brandy's a character for sure. But we're going to wrap this show up. As always, if I can get my cursor to work. There we go. Chase Tyler has a private party on Saturday. On Sunday, he is at Gretna Fest at noon. That Sunday lineup at Gretna Fest on the side stage is Lauren Lee, Chase Tyler, John Foster, and Easton Corbin. And that's right in front of the Chris's Specialty Foods tent. We will be there. I will be there all day Friday and Sunday. Chase is also at Chack Bay Gumbo Festival in Chack Bay, Louisiana at 9 p.m. next weekend. The ACS Cattle and Barons Ball at the Lamar Dixon on the 23rd. Fifth Arcade and Bar in Hammond on the 24th. French Food Festival in La Rose on the 25th. And the big concert, Boots on the Bayou, which is October 31st and November 1st. Brandy says, thank you. I look forward to meeting and helping out where I can. Gretna is your hometown.
Oh, that's where my family is.
In Gretna?
You might know my family.
Yeah. Brandy lives in the Gonzales area now, but she's from Gretna. And I was actually at Gretna last night setting up for it. And I'll be there Friday and Sunday. As always, our credits, Lane Hardy with the intro. My End Zone Eats logo was designed by Natalie Tridle. Outro song is Chase Tyler. The outro edit is Taryn Gary. Commercial, Brie Lynn. Edits by my friend Cherie Swamp Puppy. Technical support, my brother Dustin. Trey Ledbetter for letting us be here at Pro Dreams. Our sponsors, Bayou Brothers of Louisiana LLC, LP Hat Company, and OnlyFans. Brandy, I added you as a sponsor, just so you know. And our guest today was Ben Chase, the director of NIL strategy at the University of Florida. Thomas Kane will be here next week, and I think Rodney and Brandy will be here as well. Rodney Hot Rod Veloso and Brandy. And it will be another full house with Thomas and Lucy Kane in the house. But until then, y'all have a good week.
come from Louisiana, from the banks of the Pontchartrain. I was born in an old houseboat in the eye of a hurricane. I've been all around this great big world, but no matter where I roam, I'll always come back to Louisiana, 'cause Louisiana is home. People stop and ask me where it is that I come from. I tell them I am so down south, even the Mississippi's scared to run. Oh, from Bourbon Street to Baton Rouge, from Malibu to Thibodeau, I'll always come back to Louisiana, 'cause Louisiana is home. We got cypress stomps and Salisbury corn, jambalaya and fado. New Orleans blues and Mardi Gras too, and the bars they never close. Well, you can take me away from this bayou state, but I won't be gone too long. And I'll always come back to Louisiana, 'cause Louisiana is home. Take me away from this bayou state, but I won't be gone too long. And I'll always come back to Louisiana, 'cause Louisiana is my home.